Hello and welcome to this short webinar about interviewing for an aged care volunteer visitor scheme volunteer. This is part 2, some questions and answers. My name is Jo Rees and I'm one of the ACVVS Community of Practice coordinators. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands on which this webinar is being recorded, the Kaurna people, and pay my respects to elders past, present and future. The following is not showing an interview, but rather is a short demonstration of some ways to guide questioning. Listen and probe. This is a continuation of the interviewing webinar part 1. So the focus is on the specific key volunteer attributes for ACVVS discussed in that webinar. To recap, we talked about motivation and empathy, we called it having the heart, and also about understanding the responsibility of this crucial volunteer role. As an example of how I might begin a conversation with a potential volunteer, I often start by asking, what has prompted them to apply for this role at this time? Rather than, why have you applied or what is your motivation? This open-ended, indirect questioning enables the potential volunteer to tell me about a course they're studying or that they've just retired. It gives them lots of options to talk about what is going on in their life right now, whatever they feel comfortable talking about. It's not forced and they can tell me as much or as little as they like. And then I can ask some supplementary questions, taking my cue from them. Many of the answers in this short demonstration are what potential volunteers have actually said during an interview. We're going to start with motivation and empathy. So I'm really interested in what has prompted you to apply for this role at this time.
Yeah, I've been thinking about volunteering for a while.
What's been the difference that now is the time you've decided to apply?
I really need to get out of the house and do something.
Oh, that's great. So what particularly makes this a good option? Have you applied for any other types of volunteering?
Yes, I have. I'm going to do some after-school tutoring for the Smith family. It's 1 day a week and I'm really looking forward to it.
You take the lead from them, but start to build up a picture of their life and how this will fit in, making it easier for them to talk openly rather than being asked very specific questions by rote. Building on the conversation, I might respond with something like, what a great thing to do, children after school, really valuable.
Yes, I'm really excited about it. I know it won't be easy, but I hope I can make a difference to a child who might need some extra support.
Empathy for one person, group of people, often translates to an understanding of others. So I find the potential volunteer's interest in assisting with the Smith Family Programme is a really positive sign for our programme as well. So would you like to connect with someone with similar interests? What do you think you would like to do together?
Look, if we do connect over a shared interest, that would be great. But I can be interested in whatever they're interested in. I can research and look it up. I might not be able to learn to play chess though.
What I love about this is it's about the other person, not them.
Yeah, well, we can talk about gardening. That would be best. Lots of older people love gardening.
It's a well-meaning comment, but the assumption is lumping older adults into one category. There's no doubt that gardens are a common theme in people's lives and many care recipients are quite expert in the area with a genuine knowledge of plants. But you do have to be very careful with assumptions. It will not be everybody's preference.
Oh, I don't want anyone who has dementia. I couldn't cope. I want to be able to have a good conversation with them.
An assumption that isn't necessarily true. I would explore this with the potential volunteer who may have limited understanding currently. Can you expand on that a bit? about conversation and people living with dementia? Explain a little bit more about what you mean. Can you tell me about any experience you've had with people living with a diagnosis of dementia? See where their answers are coming from, what understanding they have, and where you can support the volunteer with relevant training, while also bearing in mind that you want both the recipient and volunteer to enjoy the relationship and stick to it. How reliable is the potential volunteer likely to be? How can we tell this? Are they clear and realistic about their availability and whether there are any known changes coming up? Thinking student placement, job changes, looking for work, even needing an operation. If things are changing in the near future, what do they think will happen to their visiting? Are they aware of the impact of starting to visit and withdrawing on an older person? Potential volunteers need to know that this is a role that requires commitment, as the older people referred for visitors are already vulnerable. These themes run through any interview, but here we're going to look at one common example, which is student placements. You mentioned that you're a student and your studies sound really interesting. How much free time will you have? Can you work your visiting around your study?
Yes, I'm very flexible right now, so I can fit visiting in around my study.
Will you have a placement during your studies? How might that change things for you?
I have placement, of course, but it isn't for a few months yet.
This volunteer program doesn't take a lot of time per week, but as we discussed, it is a regular, longer term commitment. How will you manage visiting the person you are connected with during your placement?
Oh, what do you mean? I hadn't thought about that. I'm sure it'll be fine.
A potential red flag, not addressing the issue.
Well, I won't be able to visit. My placement's full time, so I won't be able to visit then.
An honest answer, but not mentioning any of the things we've discussed about constancy. I will discuss further, but one avenue could be to look at other volunteer opportunities for them. Perhaps something that is less long-term would work better.
I'm not sure how that will work. Can I see them on the weekend? I might be tired after hours. What do people normally do? Maybe I could go once a fortnight as my days rotate. Can I call them for a chat? If not, is that allowed? Or send them a card or letter?
Both thoughtful answers, being honest, thinking things through, and asking if there are others going through the same thing. What do they do? Study can be hard and placements are very important for a student, and it's likely that their study is going to take priority. So I'm looking for a realistic answer, a thoughtful answer, rather than a dismissive one. The same sort of questioning can be applied to volunteers who come forward who work full time. You can't know for sure whether they will manage long term, but their answers can provide the basis for a conversation to take place, which will get them thinking about the level of commitment required and whether their expectations are realistic. I hope you have found some of these responses and suggestions helpful. The aim isn't to follow a strict script, it's to listen closely, respond thoughtfully, and make sure the person is both prepared and supported. Thank you for listening and watching Interviewing for the Right Volunteer Part 2, some questions and answers.